Take off! It's time for Doug and Ben's great NASCAR adventure!
I always expect a woo at the end. And he doesn't. He's like, nope, Mike Pop instead. Thanks again, Marshall. We are NasCanucks. I'm Ben. He's Doug. By the way, Doug had a comment on last week's show. Oh. Dave Conklin was asking, y'all going to be there for the 600?
Whoa. Dave watches. Hell, hey, Dave. How you doing?
Yep. So I said, yep, you're going to be there. I am not.
This guy will be. Which we were just talking off air. A little bit of issues. Somebody forgot to book a flight. Booked everything else but the flight. And Dave or anyone else who's been at the race, my only flight home was Monday morning at 6 a.m. that I could get.
Not an option.
No.
Because let's be honest, if the
race that opening video was recorded at 4:30 a.m. on Monday morning.
Well, see, I was going to say, like Mazel, just Sam.
Well, not Sam, because of Sam's health issues, he hasn't been there. So,
right,
there is nobody sober enough to drive me to the airport at 4 a.m.
Right.
Plus, there's nobody that wants to drive my ass to the airport at 4 a.m. So, instead,
what do you do? Just go from Victory Lane to the airport, essentially?
Basically, yeah.
So now, if the race is a shit show, it's not going to be done till damn near midnight.
True. So now I will be, in turn, spending about 8 hours inside Whiskey River at the Charlotte airport.
Yeah. You look really upset about it.
Maybe we'll FaceTime if there's a singer on again. Or maybe I'll record myself if I'll hop on the bull.
No, that is a video in the making.
Yeah.
Yes. By the way, we have Charles75N, Mark Taft, Terry's 3Gs, and Symmetry in the chat. Welcome, fellas. As always. So, where were we? Kansas.
You're in Kansas.
All right. I was warned going into the weekend. I saw Austin Cindric had posted, which one of the 3 bow ties should I wear? I'm like, none of the above, Austin. None of the above. And yet, he did. But, Austin Cindric guesting in the booth with Phil Parsons and Jamie Little for the ARCA race. Not a bad field. I think it was 26, 27 cars, which, these days, not bad. It was pretty dominant race by Love. I can't remember his first name, but he was doing pretty good. But I think he got hoodwinked at the end. But points leader Frankie Muniz going into the race.
Yes, yeah.
And it's not like he's setting the world on fire. Like
he kind of runs the middle a lot, doesn't he?
No, he doesn't. He avoids.
Come on now.
No, because he does not have Doug. He does not have the same trust in his fellow actors that he has in his fellow competitors. So he will never go for the middle. I know because a few times he's thought about it, but there's a lot of this. Anyway, I'm not playing mini golf. This is not the clown's legs. Like, no. So, he is avoiding stereotypes.
There's at least 4 other people in the chat that's right there that are thinking he's not getting the Malcolm in the Middle reference there. Come on.
No, I got it. I was purposely avoiding it because it was too obvious because he isn't, though. That's the thing. He's not Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, I really got to make sure that my TV will start recording the ARCA races because for some reason it doesn't. Because I don't know, maybe we'll go live for the ARCA race at Charlotte on the Thursday night.
Possibly.
Possibly.
A points leader, but again, doing it the right way. It's not like he went to Venturini with a stack of money and just, like a top team or Gibbs or something said, here, I want to buy a top ride. I don't know if he is running with Venturini or not, but it's not like he has some major sponsor or anything. He's he's just doing it like any other competitor would.
Mhm.
And he's not out there dominating, but he's not also out there running, at the back, for instance. So and learning. And yeah, he finished in the top 10.
That's not me.
Blocked from the chat, Mark. You typed in the chat earlier. Nobody blocked you in the chat. Just saying.
Yeah.
Of course, he's not getting that because he's texting me. He's not doing it.
Yeah.
All right. Here, we'll do voice to text.
So.
Nobody blocked you in the chat. You typed in it earlier.
There
we go. Hey,
yes, so then after that, we had the trucks on Saturday night. Saturday evening.
But yeah, it was one of those, kind of what out front guy.
Yeah.
Possibly in a Gibbs-based vehicle. I'm not sure. No, but it was Venerini that won because Pops was there in the scooter, and literally as soon as the green flag dropped, he's like, "Look, 180 back to the camper." It was like because he was on on that roadway we have behind all the pit stalls. He's just okay. Another one.
Also, just kind of because I want to get it in there. Shout out to the barbecue guy in Kansas again.
I told you
another race.
Turn 3, Doug. They moved him to turn 3. He was banned from turn 1.
But still, another race where we didn't have a caution for barbecue.
Yep.
And
and we had 3 drivers doing the double between ARCA and trucks. Who were those 3? Mark says he has no way to enter the chat room. I can't shoot that now, Mark. That's an after show thing. Anyways, one of which was a lady. Oh, I can't remember. Wasn't Amber Belkin?
But the Canadian?
I don't think it was Amber Belkin. It was
no. Actually, I did see that. There was no
Arab American. I remember they mentioned that. Sponsored by Victoria's Secret.
Yes, I sure.
If you can get the sponsor,
Yep.
Great truck race. She ended up 18th. I think on the lead lap, or no, just off she got lapped.
Yeah.
Late in the race. It was funny because and I was like, rightfully so, because we always hear Haley Deegan. Well, Haley Deegan finished 13th.
Yeah.
And she's been in the series for a year and a half.
Yeah.
This one debut, 18th, and she did go to the infield care center after the ARCA race. She's like, I need some fluids. Hot out there. And who was it? Kevin Harvick was up in the booth, which I really like. Kevin Harvick in the booth for a truck race.
Yep.
Because he was mentioning a lot of the KHI stuff from back in the day, and so it would be similar to a handful of years from now if Kyle Busch just starts doing that.
Yep.
And so it was really good to see, and it was a pretty good race. It wasn't really anyone was dominant. It had that cool thing where you could dive bomb, but not quite clear. So it was a lot of passing for leads. And
it seemed like a lot of guys were spinning out on exit of turns as well. Mostly
out of 2. And I'm sure that the wind had something to do with it because there was all weekend a tailwind down the backstretch.
Yeah.
Right from qualifying because was it the 24 truck had looped it in practice and qualifying, I think, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
And but good race overall. Most of the usual suspects up front. There's then we had the wreck that kind of took out all the people that usually wreck people. So I had no issue with that wreck. Kosen Hosevar got caught up in a wreck. I'm like, well, he was due.
Yeah.
Because he was similar, like they say with Ross Chastain, causes a lot of wrecks, doesn't get caught up in a lot.
More on that later.
Which, ironically enough, last week's shenanigans, Brendan Poole and Ross Chastain, both in the truck race.
Yes.
And they did get near each other at one point.
Yeah.
And Kevin kind of if a fella was going to pay another fella back, a truck race would be a good time to do it.
Yes, because they're both not, if they're, as
no
long as they're
real
not taking out any regulars.
Exactly. But he didn't. Sadly.
Yep.
Wish he did, but he didn't. But Kyle Busch was he really wants win number 100 for KBM to have his name. You could tell.
Oh yeah.
He wants that one. Because he was running, whereas he usually gives his drivers a little room, because Kyle Busch is known as one of the cleaner guys. Like, he's that throwback. If you're faster, go. Yeah. I'm not going to be a meathead. I like to block.
Yeah.
No. And, guys, there's brake pedals in these vehicles, kids.
Yeah.
Like, if you know you're going to turn him into the wall, like the one guy got turned into the wall, and the guy just kept hammering into it.
Yeah, who's that? I'm trying to think. Was that Rhodes that was behind him?
I can't remember who it was. Yeah, but
98?
Turned to 24.
I think it was the 98.
Could have been. Like, let off for a second. The guy will get off your bumper, and you can go again. Like, the caution's getting waved. There's no gain. Or on these restarts, when it was all calamity on restarts, you have a brake pedal. Use it. Give up 3 spots, but guess what? You finish the race.
Yep.
And less likely to get punched in the face at some point later in the season because you've turned the same guy 3 times and he's had it up to here. And I'm going to tell you about it.
And it's not just his haircut. Anyway, so then Kyle Busch lets one of the young guys kind of win. He's older than Kyle.
Yep.
But,
well, who had the dominant truck all weekend?
Yep.
Like fastest truck in short run, fastest truck in a long run. I watched it through practice, and like guys are going out doing mock qualifying runs, and he's out there on lap 15 of his run, still turning faster time.
Well, I find that Enfinger does that a lot. Like if when he wins, he dominates. When he doesn't win, where are you? Right?
Similar to Sheldon Creed in that respect.
Yeah.
Sheldon Creed's the same way. Dominant or in the hunt or 22nd.
Yep.
Blocking. Yep. We saw Johnny Sauter make his first start of the season.
Yes.
That's all right. We like the wily veterans in there. And I thought about, like Grant Enfinger, he's the next Matt Crafton, right?
For sure.
A few years behind.
Yep.
And then it'll be probably like Parker Kligerman or somebody, which is fine. You can have a career in the truck series. That's fine.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
So who ended up winning the truck race? Grant Enfinger. Never mind. Just had that conversation. Man.
Whoa.
Lifestyle choices. Oh, wow. See what happens when you show up late, Doug?
Yep. Sure.
That wouldn't happen if we started on time, honest. So, it brings us into the Cup race, which, other than it turning into a bit of a shit show at one point with a lot of cautions, we never really had huge green flag runs. We kind of did in the first stage, but after that, it wasn't. And although, they set the record for most lead changes.
Yep.
37
through 13 drivers.
Well, and then it was the most lead changes at a 1.5-mile track period.
Yep.
I'm like, okay. I assume with the modern car.
Yeah.
I assume. But then again, who knows? There was a lot of lead changes.
Yep.
And then, again, cars coming off corners. It was a theme all weekend. Who was it? I'm trying to think. One guy caught the Joey Logano bad mojo, was just having a hell of a bad day.
Yeah. Well, let's start right off the top with Tyler Reddick clipping.
Or no, it wasn't Tyler. Yeah, it was Willie B. Willie B caught the Logano syndrome. Like, he caught the pole, but then it just went downhill by lap 2. He managed to come back in the hunt.
Reddick clipped the rear end of Larson as Larson was in the lead, spun him. luckily Larson didn't get, too much damage, and he was able to continue and lead a few laps.
Yeah, battle back to a point. And, and I do hate it when, though, they're like, oh, William Byron came back from 2 laps down. Look at him competitive again. I'm like, yeah, there's things called lucky dogs and wave rounds that didn't exist in the past.
Yep.
Like, he didn't do it under green. Now, if you say he did it under green, okay, I'm impressed. I'm looking at you, Bill Elliott, in 1985 at Daytona 500. Yep. What's up, Guitar Man?
And then we had the usual add 2 more names to the list for Ross Chastain.
Yes.
Adding Noah Gragson and Kyle Busch.
Yeah, which it was interesting because when he started getting close to Kyle, they're like, I don't know if you're going to want to do that, because they're saying he's the guy that might come down and punch you. Yeah. Well, you're half right with the statement, folks.
Yes,
guys. They were sensing a disturbance in the force, and more on that in a little bit.
So what did you think?
Did you like it also, the one line during the race, Kurt, or was it Clint Boyer's like, oh, look at that, someone made a clean pass by Rossi and didn't get taken out?
Yeah. Well,
and then Kurt's like, hey, now, easy.
What did you think of those 2 in the booth? Because
I like it.
A lot of people didn't like them because they were cheering for the Toyotas.
No,
apparently they don't like.
Were doing is pointing out how dominant the Toyotas were. Which, fun fact, second half of the race, Toyotas weren't as dominant.
Nope.
It was 50-50 with Chevys and Toyotas.
And there was even one comment I'd seen on Facebook where someone said, how much different is that than Jeff Gordon just talking about Hendrick Motorsports the whole race? Right. So, and
they're going to mention the Toyotas. Well, let's see. We have the guy who won the race this time last year. And those cars were also done, and he has inside knowledge about it. So, you're going to talk about what you never see is Clint ever refer to the 14 as his old ride.
Never.
No. Never. Then he was kind of forced out of the ride, let's be honest.
Yep.
Because he was, hey, they offered me a TV deal, but I think I'll take it, in 2 years when I retire. They're like, no, you should take it now.
Mm-hmm.
What are you saying? You should take it now.
Well, I know people on Facebook are like, well, Kurt was in a Toyota last year, and then Clint.
That's a lot, but that's that whole anti-Toyota bias, regardless, right?
And then Clint owns a Toyota dealership. Sure.
Which he's never mentioned once, so who cares?
Yeah.
And again, when the Fords are fast, he points it out. When the Chevys are fast, those Hendrick boys, we watch them, he'll say it that way.
Yep.
Which again, you're stating the obvious, Clint, but I haven't seen him really hometown it too much other than toe the NASCAR line in that way that Michael Waltrip will do the same, as an ambassador to NASCAR, as opposed to, no, you're a broadcaster. You're an independent broadcaster. You don't work for NASCAR. You work for Fox.
Mm-hmm. So like in talking about that early, so Denny and the Toyota win stage 1.
Yep.
Then Squinty Douchey Eyes win stage 2.
Right. With your boy in the mix during that whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because again, we talk about it. Your boy's streaky, and I'm like, well, I guess so. And especially with the mess, I want to talk to you. I'm like, fuck you, Martin. Want to get? God damn it! I don't need a phone call. Just hear you gloat, Doug.
No, okay. But I wasn't.
Nope.
I wasn't. But no. And then
almost cautions. I kind of lost the flow of the race in many ways, and props to Gregson's team there, who could have let a wheel roll down pit road off the end of pit lane, causing a further a 2-lap penalty for a driver, but instead got a drive through because they said, screw it, let's just grab the wheel for the sake of safety. Right on. Kudos to that. Because there's not enough of that. Because as they say, the sport is all now take.
Yep.
That was good. That's just for the greater good of the sport in many ways. Doesn't throw a caution as a result. Allows, they let them back up down pit road. Sure, why not? I'd much rather see that instead of a caution.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and really,
yeah.
only penalties coming out of that was to the Austin Cindric team for a loose wheel.
Yes, because his came off out on the track.
Yeah.
Right, which is still, instead of, half your team getting a month's vacation, it's a 2-lap penalty and then a fine after the fact, type thing.
Loses
Fine.
two crew members for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, there we go. That's still better than what it was.
Yep.
So, mention all the facts before I talk. Jesus, we're supposed to be professionals here. Just saying.
Yeah, no.
So, Denny Hamlin wins for the first time since last year's Coke 600, apparently.
Yes. So, what did you think about those final laps? I thought I
Fine.
didn't see anything wrong with it.
No,
Larson got loose and
again,
then came down.
Yeah, again, Denny could have he could have let off, but again, okay.
He lets off.
It was aggressive side drive. Yeah, it was as much a racing incident, and it's not like Denny just drove through him either. Like Denny did kind of, oops, and tried to get off him while maintaining momentum.
Yeah.
A great save by Kyle, and Kyle just said, "Screw it, I'm going to just drive her, or, pull a Carl Edwards because the wheel's already screwed."
Yeah.
Mazel, he still finished second.
Oh yeah.
And Kyle wasn't overly upset about it. Like you can tell, he's like, "I wasn't clear. No, you weren't." And the way I see it, if you block, you can get turned. I don't say ban blocking, but on the other hand, yeah.
Yep.
There's slight block. There's the intimidation block, where you'll kind of do a fake out, and the guy goes, "Oh, okay, that's fine." But expect the guy to not let off when you pull these moves.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing you got to expect. So then we have the cool down, and
he had his win interrupted, then his interview get interrupted as well.
Well, yeah, he went from being interviewed to play-by-play commentary.
What's going on? Oh, I wish we could see what's going on over there.
Yeah, and camera switches, and then So apparently, I learned from Dale Jr. today, or confirmed with Dale Jr. today. If you get into an argument on pit road, Doug, don't be the guy that grabs the collar of the other guy.
No,
because you're always the guy that gets punched.
Yes. And I'm not sure if you've seen the video or if anyone else has seen the video of Denny, Bob Pockra showing the video to Denny. Denny just got a big smile on his face, and Denny was like, "He told him to stop. He told him to stop."
Yeah. But
that smile, I think, was also Denny thinking, "Wasn't me."
Yep. And the funny part is, of all people to do it, for the fact that it's Gregson and Chastain that get into it, who apparently work out together, like they're kind of the best buds off the track.
Yes.
But then again, had I not known that, Doug, we have not called it. Like, who is the most likely two to get into a scuffle? It would be those two. Because Gregson's hot-headed and Chastain's dirty driver.
Guys, I sent you some of my favorite. I wish we could have put them up. Some of my favorite quotes from the Facebook comments on that whole issue, right? Like there was one woman said, "I like Noah, but I wouldn't be starting a fight with that haircut," right? Because he went from the mullet to
the bowl cut.
There ain't nothing there.
Yeah, he's got the Mo Howard cut.
Yeah. Then there was Ross versus one of the Three Stooges.
Yep.
Chastain got lucky. Someone broke up that fight. Mo was about to throw some haymakers. And then, how do you get your jaw jacked with a haircut like that?
And of course, you got Chase Elliott chirping away from the sidewalk.
No, so did you get to see any of that video?
No, because if I saw that, if Chase walked by and chirped like that, Chase would be getting a punch in the head too, because Chase also needs a punch in the head because he's a chirper.
So what had happened was, because we heard because I was wondering what he meant by that when he said, you got Chase, people like Chase Elliott were like cheering him on to do it, right? So after the altercation, when they were finally getting Noah out of there, he walked by Chase, and Chase kind of was like, it's about time someone had to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why didn't you? You're having someone else do it.
And so the running gag was kind of during the race. They'd said, is someone finally going to punch it? Hey, there's Mark.
Yep.
is someone going to punch Chastain, or get into an altercation, so
And we all
then
thought it was
an
going to be
actor
Kyle.
said, I don't think anyone's going to do it now. I'm like, well, Doug, I've been ragging on the guy previously, but I kind of want to see Austin Hill get some more starts in the series because he's an MMA trained driver. So
we've seen that last year.
Yes, I would really like to see, that part-time, the 77 car, whatever the hell it is,
And how about Justin Marks throwing Ross under the bus, because apparently they don't have a no push policy at Trackhouse Racing.
Because Ross said they did.
Yes, and Justin said on Dave Moody's show, no, we don't.
No, we don't. Because if you notice, Justin Marks isn't exactly the largest man in the world.
Oh no, he's not. No.
So a lot of guys who are 5'0" aren't really pushy types.
No, and
Doug,
my
into this weekend, as per previous conversation, taking out in the truck series, being that we have a throwback driver doing a one-off with nothing to lose, who is really hard to pass, and you have someone who really likes to bump people out of the way.
No, it is not a one-off.
Oh, it's not.
No. I wish I could find that, but I can't.
Okay. But what I'm saying is we got Ryan Newman in the race this weekend, folks, and I'd like to see Ryan Newman just grab Chastain by the ear and, turn him into a pretzel.
So I'm going to see if I can find it here.
And can we say, Doug, is Ross Chastain able to get away with as much as he is because there's a bunch of Nancys running in the Cup Series these days?
Could be. Yeah.
Including your Clint Boyers, your Tony Stewarts.
Yeah.
They wouldn't put up, they'd smack him around. Hell, we saw Tony smack a guy around in the SRX series last year.
Speaking of Ryan, I don't know if you want to see here. That will be his car for Darlington.
Nice.
Throwback to that one there. Now I'm all blurry. So he's doing, what is it now, Darlington? And he's only running Darlington so that he can run the Open at North Wilkesboro.
Right.
That's why he's running Darlington. Then he's doing Martinsville. He's doing all short tracks.
Yeah. Well, I think he's doing both Darlington races.
Yeah. But he's doing all short tracks because, his words, he does not feel that these cars are as safe as NASCAR says they are. And he does not want to be their crash test dummy. He's already got 2 bars named after him. He doesn't want a third. And
let's be honest, he was rather vocal from the sidelines last year about the safety of the cars.
Yeah.
And people were saying, have you been in one? No. Have you looked at one up close? No. What are you basing your opinion on? I'm like, well, the man is a mechanical engineer. He can look at some blueprints.
Yeah. So he just wants to do short tracks.
Yep. So do you have a pick for this weekend at Darlington? We're getting close to the end of the show.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Truex is running a throwback to his Cup Series win.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that. I do have some other news though as well.
Did you see Chase Elliott is running the Casey Kane throwback?
No, it's his dad's throwback.
Not according to everybody roasting him on Twitter. Everyone's nice Casey Kane throwback.
Yeah. Just a couple other news before we get into that there. Brad Keselowski will run the Cars Tour event at North Wilkesboro.
Mm-hmm.
There's no penalties to Ross or Noah for the Kansas thing.
You know what that was by NASCAR? They're like, well, Noah, you already got your penalty by getting punched in the head. And Ross, we know you're getting yours sooner or later. Every
video I seen of the fight, all the different angles were put out by NASCAR.
Yep.
BJ McLeod at Darlington will be sponsored by YouTube channel. Out of the Groove.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mark, stop. Eric?
Not us.
No.
Um,
Eric Easton. Dang it. What's up, Eric? Love your channel.
Then so this person will not be the only Canadian content at the Coca-Cola 600. Toronto Dominion Bank will be sponsoring Corey LaJoy at the race.
Well, they do have a TD location in Charlotte.
Yeah. Because apparently TD Bank is America's most convenient bank.
Sure.
No.
Well, we're Canadian. We're pretty easygoing. I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Who's my pick for this weekend? You know what? Larson's been having some bad luck, so he may pull out a win. Although he hates Darlington.
Yes.
Although he's been winning at a lot of tracks he hates as of lately. He's already won at all the tracks he likes. So now he's knocking off that one. Yeah, and then we'll do the running pool as to who's going to be the... Okay, who's the odds-on favorite for punching Ross Chastain in the face?
Kyle Busch.
That was my pick. I like that.
Because Kyle was pretty vocal on the radio.
Yep.
And that's the one guy that he'll talk and do.
Also, it was interesting. They were talking about with the trucks going to North Wilkesboro. Drivers are going to be entering. I think like Bubba Wallace may be running the truck rate, to get lap time for the All-Star race. And old Mikey there said, "So Harv, you're old enough. You ran at Wilkesboro, right?" He goes, "No, I didn't, but I know you did, Michael." He's, yeah. I'm like, yeah, Michael, for like a decade. So, yep. And I believe Harvick is running in the Cars Tour race as well.
Probably, yeah.
Because I've heard rumors talk for a while. Dale Jr. said he's been building a car for Harvick's commissioned a car to be built for him, essentially. So, which is partially for him, and I don't know if it's eventually for his kid or whatever, but he's going to be putting, because he's got that whole agency thing, so he may be that point of contact for the Cars Tour here. Dale Jr. has this car available, type thing, with me involved. So I don't know.
And I also like that. I'm not sure if it's in the Xfinity series, could be, running a Richard Childress into 3, running an old Martin Truex Jr. 56 Ferris sponsored car. Which would probably be the old Busch North series.
And Lawless Allen in the number 45 truck is running the Adam Petty Sprint paint scheme, which I'm fine with. Running Adam Petty scheme every year as far as I'm concerned. So awesome. On that note, he's been Doug, I've been Ben, you've been you.
Yeah. And just 1 week.
Just once.
Just watch your finger. See you in a couple weeks, Marcus.